Hi, my name is Melissa. I live here in Arlington, Virginia. We obviously just completed a kitchen renovation and are extremely happy. We've lived in this house about 6 years, and since we moved in, the kitchen just really didn't function for us. It was very broken up. There was a big wall here, and there were 4 doors in the space. So counter space was very limited. The flow and storage just did not work for us. We host a lot of the family gatherings. We host the big holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas, and this has kind of become the gathering home. And so having a space that fit a good amount of people and having a nice flow was really, really important to us. And having such limited counter space, such limited storage space really caused a lot of issues. So there was a giant wall here, a door in 4 different places, like I mentioned. Even back here where the stove is, there was a door out to our outdoor patio. So you can imagine with all those doors that it just didn't flow well. So I've actually designed, I think 2 or 3 other kitchens in past homes or working with friends, but this one was just really difficult. I just couldn't figure out how to make the space work. I actually thought it was too narrow to have an island, so we really wanted to bring in a company that could help with the design process and really give us ideas outside of what we were able to come up with. We did reach out to a few different companies. We found Bullrun through, online, and then kind of asking through our neighborhood community listservs. And so they were one of the ones that came highly recommended. So we talked to a few different companies, started kind of working through some of the design elements, kind of those initial conversations with the 3 different companies and got estimates. The estimates did range quite a bit, but Bullrun was kind of right in the middle, and they were so responsive, so helpful. When we were going through the process, we were in the middle of a global pandemic, and I was pregnant, so being able to do a lot of that virtually, having calls, email, they were very, very responsive versus trying to, pull me in, which I know doing things in person can be easier, but that just wasn't really feasible for us in, the time of life that we were in. So we did work with Hakan in the beginning. He was amazing. We had kind of worked through a lot of different design ideas. Do we do a peninsula or something like that? And it was actually his idea to do the island. And I was very nervous that it was going to end up feeling super, super cramped. But with their 3D drawings and pictures and kind of, pictures that he had sent of other projects that he had done, we really felt comfortable and really excited about the idea. So during the process, we did end up going to the showroom, I think twice, just to kind of really work through all those fine details of all the different storage. I wanted everything to have its designated place, so it was very, very organized. And he was just so accommodating and so patient with us while we worked through that process. And then, obviously with the holidays coming up, we were nervous about the timeline as well. But, they reassured us that this would be complete before Thanksgiving, which definitely made me nervous because I know with the supply chain issues that have been going on that things could be slower. And that was out of the hands, the control of the hands of the company. But they assured us that they would get it done, and it was actually done a lot faster than I thought. So during the actual construction process, we worked with John. He was amazing. He was incredibly responsive, responded to all of my text questions, calls about the timeline and when are we getting started. I definitely hounded them a lot because I was nervous about the timeline and getting it done in time for the holidays. But we were done with weeks to spare before Thanksgiving, which was amazing. And the crew that came in and out of the house, they were wonderful. I mean, the attention to detail, the way that they worked in the space and just were so diligent about cleaning up. That was a big thing because we were going to be living in the house with, and at the time, a 1-year-old. So it was very important to me that everything was clean, and we've gone through major construction projects before, and dust was everywhere. You know, it just wasn't as livable. You know, we kind of set up a makeshift kitchen in our living room space, just off the kitchen, but every day that they were here, they spent significant amounts of time just cleaning up the debris. Again, with a 1-year-old kind of running around, we didn't want her to step on anything, nails or anything like that, and they were just so diligent with the cleaning, which was amazing. I mean, there's always gonna be dust when you're taking out walls. You know, this was a load-bearing wall that they had to remove, but they were wonderful. I think that was the biggest thing for me, that they were just so wonderful about it. I never had to ask, you know, can you clean up better? Or can you move this? Or can you do that? They just already always did it. So it was just wonderful. And then, you know, now that we've been living with the kitchen for a little while, we've done a couple of big holidays. It's been so amazing, just the flow of the space, the organization, you know, the craftsmanship of the cabinets, you know, how everything works together. You know, we wouldn't have been able to come up with this design ourselves because we tried for so long. So without the team at Bullrun, this just would not have been, you know, the success that it was. And it just has completely changed how our house functions. You know, just being open, you know, I can see through the living room. We have this big outdoor screened-in porch that we spend a ton of time in. So being able to flow directly from the kitchen to the dining room to the living room to the outside, it's been wonderful. We've hosted a number of, you know, family gatherings, friend gatherings of dozens of people, and it just functions so much better than it did before. So we're just so grateful for the work that Bullrun did, and we would definitely, you know, be perfectly happy recommending them to anybody else that's interested.